So Gloria Swanson and her aiding Nazi scientists out of behind enemy lines. This is part of the problem. This goes to this, people may have heard of it, Operation Paperclip, which was our intelligence agencies and clearly some other people that helped get criminal scientists that had been doing horrible experiments during the Holocaust. They helped get them out of having to face any trials or justice. And they didn't just send them to America, although a lot came here, but they sent them all over the world to get them out. So talk about the devil being at work there, huh? Like these being the people that did do these things, being Satan's children. Because what they did was then they just they got them out, and then they let them continue their activities. That it just went more underground. Their activities, you know, with genome labs and stuff like that we would call nowadays. So Gloria Swanson was somebody who aided them, obviously, and made sure that they had jobs. So even though it doesn't say anything about her and Kennedy being involved in that, it just doesn't matter. You know, corruption just hangs with corruption. So that's what I mean. She wasn't any good egg either. Because that's part of why, you know, we're in the place we're in right now, is because those Nazi scientists didn't face the justice they should have, and they've gone on to continue their activities with the Rockefellers. And again, the Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller was the first serpent oil salesman. So, serpent oil salesman. You know, the same serpent that came from the Garden of Eden, the very beginning. You know, that everybody thinks the Bible's just nonsense. Yeah. I think we've all kind of, at least if you have common sense, have all figured out, no, the Bible is 100% true. All the prophecy is playing out. It has been playing out. So, so yeah, that's why Gloria, I take that. And the reason I did that short video with the song Gloria is because everybody wondered about why that song. I mean, come on, that whole thing, Trump was showing that red folder. If anybody remembers that, it was January 6th. They were in a tent with Kimberly Guilfoyle, Eric Trump, and Ivanka. And it was a short clip, and the song Gloria was playing in the background. And everybody knows Trump's a showman, right? I mean, he is. He's a showman. So everything he does, he's doing for a reason. So everybody was wondering, what is this? There's some significance to this song. And he was holding that red folder very slowly. So, and there was all this talk about what it was about. Well, what have all the influencers, the influencers that are not doing any good, but they're trying to tell you that the Kennedys, you know, that Trump and Kennedy were good friends. Like I said, maybe the Junior, JFK Jr. and him went to a basketball game. I don't know, but that the Kennedys weren't so good. They weren't. All the murders that have happened under them. People just dying, and then their family members say, yeah, we can get off, we're Kennedys. They have a political dynasty in this country and have had it. So it's interesting that when Trump was in office, well, Justice Kennedy decided to resign. And very nicely, but maybe there was a deal made. I'm just saying, what is Trump known for? Deal making. Like, you know, you can either do it the easy way, or, you know, we're just gonna hang all your dirty laundry out there. I don't know. I'm just guessing at. But he did actually really resign. I mean, he did retire Justice Kennedy. So that took some power away from the Kennedys. So I wouldn't, especially given that Joe Kennedy was involved in the movie industry and changed it and did a whole bunch of stuff with it. Like, that's where all of your programming was being used on the public, right? It ended up, that's what it was being used for. Because I could go further into that, and I'm not going to today, but just all the people involved in that go way back. But he ultimately began it, so it's your Kennedys. So any movie that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is pushing, especially given that they gave money to the Biden administration while they were telling all these Trump supporters, you know, that this is all these things, that it's not. I just don't. I don't think this is. I think they want you to focus on this, especially if it's a Kennedy. because I would imagine that at some point, even though maybe it's never been discovered, they've known about trafficking, because that's been going on forever. So it's basically, it's these people that don't want to be found out that they're pedophiles. I'm not saying he is. You don't know. You just don't know. But all these people that keep wanting to distract from what the true point of Trump's administration, which was eradicating trafficking, it should tell you that the fact that they just continually want you to focus on this means that they're hiding something. That's my opinion anyway. So I think the Gloria song goes to the fact that it goes to the Kennedy. The Kennedys are one of the bloodline families. So they're the ones that have the most control in this country. And they've had it since, as I said, the late 1800s. Well, that was the beginning of their rise. But our founders weren't very fond of them. They just weren't. So, and obviously they had good instincts, because they have not been good. All of the people that have died, all of the things they've gotten away with, and they have too much power and control. We shouldn't have any political dynasty. This has been like their kings and queens living here. So I think that given that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been on a mission the past 2 years to make everything about the viruses and this, maybe, and he's telling you some truth, but I think he's also hiding something too, because his motives are not, he's not being honest about his motives at all. And I do not think whatsoever that Trump and the Kennedys are on the same team. No, Trump was helping, he was an FBI and helping the FBI in Atlanta with one of his casinos way back in the day, letting the FBI, hang out there undercover to catch some of these mobsters. He's helped the FBI when they were good, catch these mobster types. And Joe Kennedy the Kennedy clan was pretty much a mob, all their power and control, and they caused the Great Depression. So do you think, doesn't it make sense that that's why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would be a globalist? Because since their family was responsible for the Great Depression, along with those other families of bankers, it's likely they want to do that again. And since they did the Great Depression, they want to do the Great Reset. Yeah. So any movie he's going to tell people to go watch and you're going to buy into it, I wouldn't buy into it. I'm not saying I don't support this. I don't. But I don't believe that. I think that they're taking this ridiculously to a ridiculous place to scare people. That's all. And I just wouldn't believe anything out of him. I just wouldn't. So you could look at it like really, I think that if Trump was going to have to take down a family, he maybe try to do it the nice way, or else we'll hang your dirty laundry out there. I think Trump is a very direct and honest man. When he says he has everything, he has everything. So he said he got the swamp. So maybe what's going on at this present time, even though, and I'm just guessing, is that there's some deal making going on. So I just would be careful. No more, don't listen to these people that say Kennedy and, Trump are on the, no, they wouldn't be. They're totally different families. Trump's family does not have a line of death like the Kennedys do. Okay? Wasn't involved in a bunch of criminality like the Kennedys are. So that's the history of the Kennedys. They are one of the 13 bloodline families. And where their biggest power and political dynasty is here in America. So that is all the stuff that needs to fall away so that we can go back to our original Constitution. Because think about it, our original Constitution really was it's almost like once they came in, that's when it started to decay. So not good. We need to return to our original Constitution. Then we won't have all these CDCs and red tape and none of this stuff. Get rid of all of it. And then we can actually have a free country and without the wicked. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.